Namaste, and a very warm welcome to all of you joining us today on this webinar on International Yoga Day. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Nirmayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashid Dukhabhag Bhave. Meaning, may we all be happy, may we all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, and may no one suffer in any way. I, Aisha Mishra, your host of today's session, welcome you again on this webinar organized by Education Day on the auspicious occasion of International Yoga Day. It is a global recognition of the timeless wisdom of yoga and its power to unite body and soul. And here again, Education Nest is celebrating it all with you all. So, for this today's session, exciting and practical, more or less, we have our expert, Mr. Gaurav Madan, with us. Mr. Gaurav, I warmly welcome you on this platform today to celebrate this International Yoga Day with us.
Thank you, Ayushi. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Sure. Before we move ahead, I would like to give you all a very brief and short intro of Mr. Gaurav, who has joined us today to lead this webinar on the Yoga Day. Mr. Gaurav Madan is a certified yoga trainer with over 8 years of experience in Hatha, Ashtanga, and therapeutic yoga. He is currently pursuing a master's in therapeutic yoga from Savasya University, one of India's most prestigious yoga institutes. He holds multiple certifications from the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, including YCB Level 2, Wellness Instructor, and Foundation Training from MDNIY, Delhi. His training enables him to design safe, personalized, and results driven yoga programs for people of all ages and needs. Gaurav specializes in managing stress, chronic pain, lifestyle disorder, and postural challenges through a unique blend of pranayam, meditation, and mindfulness based stress reduction. His approach combines ancient yogic wisdom with modern therapeutic insights, making his sessions practical, healing, and accessible. Thank you, God, Dr. God. Thank you, Gaurav sir, for joining us today on this webinar. I hope our audiences is waiting for this webinar because on these days which are very hectic and stressful for people like us who are sitting in our chairs for whole day long, this is will be a very insightful session.
I agree. I agree, Ayushi. Yoga is the need for today's life, and it has
Definitely.
to be the part of the fitness regime for everyone, and specifically for the corporate or the working professionals.
Yes, because everybody nowadays is running to gyms, but there are also few women who cannot go to gym daily because of a lot of reasons. So I guess for the working women also, for women who are going through postpartum, this will be a very insightful session. So without further ado, let's dive right into the session. Over to you, Gaurav sir now.
Thank you very much, Ayushi. Let me share my screen.
Sure. Clearly visible.
So I hope my screen is visible. Let me. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So, hi everyone, namaste again, and welcome to the today's session where we will be discussing about yoga and some of the integrities related to yoga specifically for the working professionals. And we are few hours away in celebrating International Day of Yoga, which we usually do on 21st of June. So before we start our session, let us do a starting prayer. So I would request everyone to keep their neck and spine straight and bring their hands in Namaskar Mudra, hands close towards the chest. Close your eyes gently. Keep a smile on the face. Relax your mind. Focus on the breath. Do a deep inhalation and relaxation. Your mind is completely relaxed. We will chant one prayer from our Vedas. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमया Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. By keeping your eyes closed, feel the vibrations and relaxation in your mind. The meaning of the prayer was, Hey Lord, please move us from the path of ignorance to the knowledge. Move us from the path of darkness towards the path of light. Move us from the path of death towards the path of immortality. Now rub your palms, generate the heat, place it on your eyes, on your face, with the blink of the eyes, keeping smile on the face, open your eyes. All right. So, as we all know that International Day of Yoga is approaching, and it all started with the efforts of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, that the UN actually passed the resolution in 2014 that we should celebrate yoga each year. And in 2015, it started with the theme of yoga for harmony and peace. So every year we dedicate a unique theme to the to this day of International Day of Yoga. And this year we have kept a theme of One Earth and One Health. Now, I would like to double click on this theme. I think the motive of keeping this theme is very much relevant for us to understand. Now, we usually ignore our body on the daily basis, right? We only focus on the body when actually some troublesome happen and we notice something is not working right. We go to the doctor and doctor diagnose that you have certain disease on at the moment. And this is where we actually bring our focus. While our intention should be on our good health, right? So because God has given us a body which is our prime responsibility to maintain a good health. So keeping a good health for everyone is should be a important aspect of our daily routine. And if you are on any part of the earth, any part of the planet, whether you are in America, whether you are in Europe or in India, it doesn't matter. The yogic practices are so simple and they are designed in such a manner that you can do at any point of the time, right? The other aspect of keeping this theme is that it brings unity, it brings actually harmony or the feeling of collaboration. So for example, if you are talking to your American colleague, you're talking to your European or an APAC colleague, if you start talking about yoga, you can talk for number of hours today in today's world because the yoga has reached to the level that everyone is aware about what yoga is, what are the various practices of yoga is, right? So this theme of one of earth, one health resonates with our mantra of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya also, which was chanted by Ayushi too in the start of the session. Now, being having born on this land where yoga has originated in India, I would like to bring one point of focus which everyone should be cautious of being an Indian that yoga is not doing 30 minutes of exercises on yoga mat and calling that okay I'm doing yoga from these many years but still I fall sick, right? Yoga is all about living a yogic lifestyle from the start of the day till the time we sleep. For example, if you are drinking 2 cups of warm water after waking up in the morning, that is also part of the yogic lifestyle itself, right? And while we, after taking a bath, if we sit for prayer for 5 minutes, that is also part of the yogic lifestyle or following the yoga itself in our daily regime. Now, as we go into the office, we usually think that we don't have time to do yoga because we are working for 10 to 12 hours or even 14 hours, right? But what about if we actually surrender our activities to God, whatever activities that we are performing? So that will become a karma yoga activities, as mentioned in our yogic Granth Bhagavad Gita. by Lord Krishna that karmanyavadi karaste ma phaleshu kadachan, which means our action is to only perform our duties, not on the results. That means we have to surrender the result of each of our action to God and just be happy while we are performing the activities, right? So if we keep all these things in our mind, that means we are following the yogic lifestyle on every minute of our daily routine. And that's what I wanted to bring your attention to, that don't feel bad that you are not able to perform 30 minutes of yoga on the daily basis. If you are following the certain healthy regimes, by following the work, by following the lifestyle, by following the sattvic diet, it means you are doing yoga and you are following the yogic lifestyle. Now, as this session is specifically focused on the corporate professional, and being in corporate myself for a long number of years, I noticed that how much body gets exhausted because we usually work for 12 hours, 14 hours a day, right? And that means our eyes are continuously watching on the screen for 10 to 12 hours, which is a big lot of effort for our eyes to spend. Then we are sitting, that means we are putting our lumbar region in pressure and our cervical region in trouble if we will not perform certain activities or exercises on the daily on or include our exercises into the daily fitness regime. So that means our body is in continuously pressure, it continuously gets exhausted. And I've also noticed that people usually say that we get exhausted so much on weekdays that we need at least weekends to, so that we can relax ourselves, we can actually revive our mind and the body on by relaxing on weekends, right? So nowadays there is a different trend also that is being noticed and which is causing an alarm for yoga instructor as well as for health as expert. And that issue is basically the corporate professionals are facing a good amount of stress and anxiety also in their daily working life. They and be it it is because of cost pressures that is there. It is because of working in the timeline based projects which are very tight to be delivered. So all these things actually bring us to the point that there are some mental distress or mental unrestness also into the corporate professional that is growing. And the next slide talks about certain statistics also related to that. But to rectify this, yoga is one of the best fitness regime that we have, and I am telling you with a confidence. And the reason is that in our ancient textbook, which is Yog Vasishtha, which was delivered by Vasishtha Muni to Lord Shri Rama while doing a conversation with him, he mentioned that there are two kinds of problems which usually come at the body level. But not all of the problem originates from the body level. Some of the problem originates from the mind level also. And these problems are called as Adija Vyati. That means they are stress borne. And to rectify those psychosomatic issues, one has to work at the mental rest, mental calmness, and mental relaxation also. That means we need to think yoga as an holistic exercise by doing pranayam, by doing meditation. So you can't compare it with gym because it brings a lot of variety of pranayam and lot of meditation exercises also, not just certain physical exercises. And today's session we will focus on certain practical pranayams which we will do, and they are so easy that you can do while sitting in office on your company chair also. Okay, so moving on further, as I was mentioning, that there is some alarming trends that we are noticing in the corporate or the working professional, that 45% of the working professional think that they are in the anxiety mode always. during the day, and 65% of the working professionals are in stress during the day. So that means we are causing a lot of push to our mental restlessness, and we need to think that how to work on the mental wellness rather than just working on the wellness at the physical level. The burnout number also is very high. So this literally means that we can't be actually we can't create gaps at the mental level, and we can't just think that okay, if I am lifting weight in a gym, or if I'm doing certain asanas on the yoga mat, that means I'm healthy, right? So we have to work at the mental level also. We have to work at the mental relaxation also. Now, as I mentioned, that people usually compare yoga with gym or aerobics or jogging or walking morning walks, right? They usually say that I do jogging, I do morning walks. Why do I have to do yoga? Because I'm usually taking care of my fitness routine. Nowadays, yoga has actually matured to that level that yoga gurus, yoga instructors, and even the big fitness expert think that yoga is not at all just an asana. It is actually an integrated approach of yoga, which is now in the trend, which literally means that combining the holistic system of health that we had in our ancient system, and bringing it, integrating it together, and understanding that how we can work on delivering the better health system. Now, if I have to just give an example, in Ayurveda, there is a concept of Ritucharya and Dinacharya. Now, if I just do have to mention in a simple words, Ritucharya means that whenever the seasons are changing, we have to think of changing our diet plan. For example, monsoon has hit in our certain parts of the country. In Ayurveda, it is mentioned that in monsoon we have to take light meals. Our digestive fire is not working at the optimum level. And to ensure that we don't fall sick, we don't get cold, cough, we don't actually get into the health trouble, our meals should be very light. Okay, so that literally means that in our ancient textbooks, complete scientific understanding has been built. It has already been published, and it has already been researched also, that in monsoon, if we take light meals, that will certainly help to maintain our health in a better manner. Now, the second aspect that I was telling that it is mentioned is dinacharya, which means how to follow the daily regime, which means that when we wake up, then how or what are the activities that we should do when we wake up. For example, drinking 2 cups of warm water that help us to detox our body, whatever toxins that has accumulated in the whole night of the sleep, it can be removed by drinking warm waters, right? And then it is also been mentioned that we should not take dinner after sunset. Though in corporate or in working professionals, we can understand that we usually come from office at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., or 8 p.m. It is very tough to follow the exact what is being mentioned in our ancient texts. But nowadays, doctors also recommend that let's say if we sleep at 11:30, then we can take our dinner at 8 p.m. or 8:30, which is 2 to 3 hours before, so that we don't get into the digestion issue. And this will help us to not get obesity as one of the problem also, right? And some of the people you do get heartburns, acid, it is very helpful for them to take meals 2 or 3 hours before, and taking a light meal, obviously, that will help. So, following a lifestyle which is mentioned in Ayurveda, that will certainly be part of our daily regime. Now, as I mentioned, that we should not be only considering yoga as a physical exercise, but we should also consider yoga as a technique or a tool to relax our mind, so that our mind-body connection can improve. We can perform better in our daily life, whether it's a personal or in the professional life, because the focus will increase, the senses control will increase, and we will be in a much better state to perform more efficiently. Now, doctors also recommend these days that if you are facing a pain, then you should not jump to take painkiller. You should first look at your kitchen remedies that are available in the form of herbs, right? For example, if you are facing an pain, or if you are having high cholesterol, then garlic is one of the important remedy that is available in our kitchen that you can take empty stomach, and the instant result or the benefit can be seen the day that you will take garlic. Similarly, you can take fenugreek seeds also, right? So there are a lot of benefits of taking herbs which are available in the kitchen. So rather than building a dependency of medicine for even a small issues like acidity, constipation, can we look at the herbs which are available in the kitchen? So that is the holistic view that the yoga gurus are now moving towards, and yoga instructors are now moving towards. Technology also plays a big role nowadays. We have appliances like smartwatches, which can help us to monitor our health. We have mobile apps also, which can help us to maintain our health. For example, Sri Ravi Shankar ji has launched International Yoga Association as one of the mobile app, which help us to find what are the yoga events which are happening nearby to our society or locality, which help us to find the right yoga institution, right yoga instructor near to our society and locality, so that we can take the right help whenever we need to, right? So, in summary, now yoga is not just about doing asana, it is actually about following the holistic or an integrated approach, which can help us to maintain our health in a better manner. Now, many times being a yoga instructor for a therapeutic session, I get questions from the people or from the participant that there are some misconceptions available. Are they really true, or what is the logic behind that? So, for example, some of the people say that yoga is very slow. You have to actually you wait for months to see the results, right? And that is actually not true. For example, I have conducted yoga sessions for the obesity as one of the big problem that is emerging in India, not only West, but in India also. And I have conducted some dynamic flow exercises, not just Surya Namaskar, but some dynamic flows also. And I have noticed that within a week, the weight has actually certainly reduced to 5 kg or 4 kg itself, and which is a good amount of weight reduction, right? So it is not that only gym or any other exercise has the possibility to create an impact on the body at the faster level, but yogic exercises are also like that they can create an impact. The other person says that yoga is for the older person, or yoga is for them who wants to take sannyas, or who wants to go do a self realization kind of journey. It is absolutely bizarre. So yoga is for everyone. For example, if you are in a teenage, then you can create a list of exercises as a yoga instructor, which can help that teenage students to bring more focus so that they can perform well in their studies. You can give them the list of advanced asanas, which can increase the immunity level of that teenage also. And being a parent, you can think of that how big this problem of weak immunity that we are noticing in our children, right? So yoga is for everyone, even if your parents are there who are in the old age and they are facing a problem like arthritis, which is very common. There are certain practices which we will do in this today's session also. There are practices like yogic sukshvayam, which our parents can do on the daily basis, and they will feel a big impact on onto their joints pain, which they usually feel when they actually wake up in the morning. Now, the other misconception that usually people have is that if I will fall sick, then I will do certain yogic practices, which is not true. Yoga and Ayurveda is for the preventive measures. It is not just to recover from the bad health. It is basically there so that we don't even fall sick. Even cold and cough will not come. There are certain herbs available as a part of the yogic lifestyle. For example, giloy is one of the biggest boon that we have. Amla, which is Indian gooseberry, is one of the herb that we have, which we can, if we can take on the daily basis, certainly our immunity levels will go up, right? So there are certain misconceptions which we have to get rid of. And if we follow yoga in the right manner, if we follow the yogic lifestyle in the right manner, we should be able to promote good health. As remember, as I mentioned on the first slide, we should not be only considering yoga or any other fitness regime when we fall sick. We should always try to work on our good health rather than fixing some disease if we have got it. Now, as I mentioned, that yoga is one of the important tool which is not only helping us to burn our fat or to keep us healthy, it also is being utilized now to work as a therapeutic tool. Which means if you are getting into some health problem, then there are certain yoga practices which are available, and you can actually cure yourself if you follow them religiously. For example, today we are going to perform three exercises. Out of them, two are pranayam. All these three exercises can be performed on your office chair, or it can be performed when you are driving in your car or you are sitting in your cab. There is no restriction that you should be on a yoga mat, you should be wearing the yogic clothes, or you should be following certain kind of, you should be sitting in park. There is no restriction to do these kind of exercises, and the results will be exactly same. Okay. So let me give you some brief about these three exercises. In May or June, in northern part of the India specifically, we faced a lot of heat strokes, right? There is a increase in the temperature and the summer is at its peak. What we can do to increase the coolness in the body or reduce our body temperature so that we don't get into the problems like acne or high BP, or we get into the mouth ulcers, right, which is very common in summers. Shitali pranayam is one of the biggest boon that is available in hatha yoga, which can actually lower down the body temperature, and it can help us to maintain our body cool. Not only it helps us to reduce the body temperature, it can help us to reduce the acidic or the heartburn issues also, which we usually face in the summer. Brahmari pranayam, which is the next exercise that we will perform today, it helps us to calm the mind, and it can be specifically for the people or for the working professionals who are facing the disturbance in their sleep, or who are having the bad quality of sleep, or they have a problem of insomnia. Certain rounds of Brahmari pranayam, if done before sleep, then it can give you a good quality sleep compared to any sleeping pill. The third exercise that we will see today, which can be used for any of the particular joints of the body, is a sukshvayam. For example, being working in a corporate, if you are having cervical issues, which is very common, then there are certain neck movements which you can do while sitting on office chair, or if you are standing in office. This will certainly help you to relieve from your cervical pain that you are facing on the daily basis, right? So without wasting any time, let us do these three exercises. So first I will explain this exercises that how it has to be done, and then in the next round I will also perform, and then you can perform along with me. So let us first understand how to perform Shithali Pranayam. Now, as I mentioned, it is for to cool down the body. So we have to keep our neck and spine straight while sitting on our office chair. We have to move our tongue out, roll it like a pipe. We have to inhale from our tongue. Once the inhalation is done, move your tongue in, close your mouth, hold there for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then we will exhale from our nose by keeping our mouth closed. So let us do now. So if we will perform 7 to 10 rounds of Shitli Pranayama onto the daily basis, you will instantly feel the coolness in the mouth. If you will do it for 5 minutes, you will see that your esophagus and your stomach is feeling much more cooler compared to 5 minutes before. That literally means that if you're facing any acidic issue, then it also works as an anti-acid. We will move towards the next exercise, which is Bhramari Pranayam. So let's see how it has to be performed. In a traditional manner, you have to close your senses also. But if we are driving, if we are in office, we don't have to do it. There is a 99% same results that we are able to achieve if we perform in the way that we are able to do it now. Keeping our neck and spine straight, we have to touch the upper part of the tongue onto the upper palate by keeping our mouth closed. And then we have to chant the humming bee sound while exhale. We do a long deep inhale, and while exhale, we will do a humming bee sound. Now let us perform this exercise. You can perform along with me. Touch your tongue to the upper palate, keeping your mouth closed. Inhale. Now, if you would have performed with me, you would have noticed that there is a minute level of vibration which you would have noticed in your head region. Now, that vibration is the important one where it will help you to sleep in a better manner. And if you will perform it on at the pace of 7 rounds, 10 rounds, or 14 rounds, it will definitely help for the people who are taking sleeping pills. It will help them to remove the sleeping pills from their daily routine, and they will be able to sleep without taking any medicine. Now, after doing 2 pranayams, let us move towards the third exercise, which is Sukshmayam. I am specifically showing it for the cervical. This Sukshmayam is for all of the joints, where you can perform it for the spine, you can perform it for your wrist, you can perform for elbow, shoulder, you can perform for any joint in our body. You can perform for ankle also while sitting on the chair. But today's, considering that we have a time restriction, we will only see the neck movements so that we can make our cervical region healthy. So first of all, I will demonstrate that how it has to be done, and then in the next round you can perform it with me. Okay. So let me show you that while inhaling, we will move our neck up and try to see the ceiling. While exhaling, we will slowly move our neck down and try to see the floor. We will do the same process again. Inhale and up. Exhale and down, and bring it to the center. So that was the first exercise for the neck. The second exercise that we have is the movement of the neck from left to right. So while inhaling, we will move towards the left. We will try to move maximum to the left. Bring it to the center while exhaling. While inhaling, we will move towards right. While exhaling, we will move towards center. So that's the second exercise. The third exercise that we have for the neck and the cervical region is to rotate our neck while inhaling and exhaling. So in half of the circle, we will inhale and try to rotate it to the maximum. And in half of the circle, we will try to exhale and we will bring it to the starting point. So these are the three exercises that we should do for the cervical region. So let us do now. We will start from the first exercise, which is neck up and down movement. So we will do 3 rounds today. Let us start. Inhale up, exhale down. Second round. Inhale up, exhale down. Third and the final round. Inhale up, exhale down. Bring it back to the center. Now we will do the second exercise that we have learned. Move our neck from left to right. We will do 3 rounds. Inhale left, exhale center. Inhale right, exhale center. Second round. Inhale left, exhale center. Inhale right, exhale center. Third and the final round. Inhale left, exhale center. Inhale right, exhale center. So we have finished the second exercise. Now we will move towards the last exercise for the cervical region, which is to rotate our neck. So let us start by rotating our neck and inhaling it for the first half of the circle. Once we reach to the center, we will exhale and finish the second half of the circle. We will do the second round. Inhale and then exhale. Third and the final round. Inhale and exhale. And bring it back to the center. So that's how we have to perform the Sukshayama to help you relieve the pain in the cervical region. Now, one important thing that you would have noticed compared to any other fitness regime is that in all of the three exercises, one thing was very common. We were doing exercises by keeping our breath in focus. We have done while doing inhalation and exhalation, which is the key factor in any of the yoga exercises if it has to be used as a therapeutic purpose. And that is something that you will learn if you will start performing yogic exercise on the daily basis and if you have the right instructor with you, right? So today, in today's session, we have understood what yoga is all about, okay, and how yoga is actually approaching from just doing physical asana to a holistic approach. We have understood that for a working professional or for the corporate professional, it is not only just about learning some physical asana, it is also about learning the mental exercises also, which can help you to relieve your mental stress and relax your mental state so that your mind body coordination can improve. We also learn that how yoga can be used as a therapeutic tool by doing certain pranayama and sukshayama. We also understood that what are the misconceptions associated with yoga, and we have to ignore those misconceptions and focus on our good health. So, with this, I would like to request you that let us embark on the journey of yoga from today itself and ensure that we live a healthy and happier life rather than just focusing on our diseases if any day those diseases will occur in our body, right? So, with this, I would like to pass on to our coordinator, Ayushi, so that we can move towards the next part of the session. Ayushi, over to you.
Yes, thank you, sir. I believe it was a very insightful session. I would request you to stop sharing your screen as I can see that our chat is flooded with questions. So I guess we can move ahead with the questions now because I can say there are a lot of people asking a lot of type of questions here. So I guess shall we move ahead?
Yes.
So let's take our first question. It says, how can we start practicing yoga if we only have 5 minutes a day?
Okay. So see, yoga is not meant that you have to finish your certain exercises in 20 minutes of time, 30 minutes of time, or 60 minutes of time. Now, let's say if as a working professional, I am facing back issues. So there are certain stretching exercises that I can focus on, right? For
Okay.
example, there are some spine twisting that I can do. There is one asana which is very common and commonly used, which is Bhujangasana. So in
Hmm.
case of spine issue, I can do Bhujangasana, which can help me to reduce the stiffness of the spine. Similarly, if I have a frozen shoulder, then I can do this kind of exercises, this kind of sukshma vayama, so that my frozen shoulder can pain can be released. So even if you are facing a very common problem, then you don't have to wait for 30 minutes of yoga session or 20 minutes of yoga session. Within just 5 minutes itself, you can focus on that particular part of the body and you can do that specific exercise.
All right, let's take another question. It says, can breathing exercises really reduce work stress?
Yes, it definitely. There are a lot of researches which has been done, and these researches are not done only by the yoga instructor or the yoga institute. This has been done with the coordination of big institutes, big hospitals like AIMS. I remember my interaction with Dr. Gautam Sharma, who is heading the cardiology department in AIMS. He specifically mentioned to me that if an heart patient actually does meditation techniques which involves the breathing exercises also, then the or the cardiologic health will improve, the heart health will improve, and the chances of getting into the heart attack for the working professionals will reduce drastically. So the pranayam exercises, the simple inhalation and exhalation, the long deep inhalation and exhalation can actually help us to reduce the mental stress also. One of the very common exercises that we actually use is the samavritti pranayam, which means that if you inhale for 5 seconds, you have to exhale for 5 seconds also. For example, if you are inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to ensure that your exhalation is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you will do it for 5 minutes itself, your mental calmness will achieve after 5 minutes, and you will ensure you will see that your all the anxiety or overthinking or bad thoughts which you were facing, they reduce drastically. So 5 minutes of Samavritti Pranayam can help you to release from anxiety on the if we follow this onto the daily routine.
That's a great initiative because a lot of people face overthinking and anxiety these days because, of course,
Yes,
there's a lot of work pressures. They also have to take care of their family pressure. If something is happening at home, you cannot share it. You cannot like be unprofessional, come and share it to the colleagues. But obviously, it's running in the back of your head. So you have to take care of it all together at the same
correct.
time.
And the biggest advantage is that these exercises or these meditation or pranayam exercises are so simple. You can do it before the sleep also. For example, if you are on your bed and if you're sitting in sukhasana, just folded legs, keeping your spine and neck erect, right? You can do Brahmari pranayam, one round of or 2 rounds of Brahmari pranayam. You can do few rounds of Samavritti pranayam. You can do few rounds of Shitli pranayam. You will get very good quality of sleep and you will notice that on the same day itself, and it will help you to perform better in your office also because the focus will improve, right?
Right. Thank you. I guess there is another question. It says, is yoga more about the body or the mind or both?
No, it is both. If I have to tell you more about the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So Maharishi Patanjali is the one who actually put the systematic view of yoga in front of the world first time. So Maharishi Patanjali says that yoga is one of the fitness regime which helps you not only at the body level but also at the mind level. And once you are relaxed at your mind level, you can achieve to the state of samadhi also. He has mentioned that you can control over your senses also if you will follow the yogic regime with a full heart. For example, he has mentioned that if you follow the regime like fasting, right? For example, in ancient times, we everyone used to do fasting on Ekadashi, which is one of the
Yes,
ritual that Hindu uses. So the main intent is to have control over our senses, that while controlling our senses, we can perform our work in the same effective manner, the way that we are performing on the other days. Nowadays, people do keep Navratra fast also. But the intent of having the Navratra fast was to detox our body,
body,
right? So
right.
if we do our Navratra fasting in such a way that we want to detox our body, it not only detox our body, the physical health, but it also keeps our mind much more with a much more energy and which with a much more focused manner. So yoga is much more beyond the body and the mind, but it starts from the body, it moves towards the mind, and then finally it reaches towards this way to the spirituality also.
Definitely. So, it says, what are some signs of burnout that yoga can help us catch early?
Okay. So see, the burnouts are basically happen when your energy levels are low. So I remember that I was giving the personal classes to one of the principal who is basically the principal in the one of the leading schools in Delhi. So she used to get exhausted a lot and she used to get burnout. When she was not aware about the yogic practices, but and she used to feel that after 8 or 9 hours she's done for the day and she can't perform any activities, and her mind used to get slow, her body used to get more stiff after 8 and 9 hours. So when I gave her the specific list of exercises which was specifically designed for her health because she had some health concerns also, then her effectiveness to perform the work improved. Her energy levels got improved, that now her energy level got improved to that level that she was able to perform to 12 to 13 hours on the daily basis. Her hemoglobin, which was around 11 earlier, that got improved to 12.5. So that's how the effective yoga is if we follow at the daily level. And the only, I would say that you have to be consistent with your exercises, because she was consistent that she used to perform those exercises 4 days a week. So it is not something that you have to perform yogic exercises on the daily level. If you, even if you are performing at the alternate days also, you can very well get rid of the burnouts problem which you face.
Okay, I guess you got your answer. Let's move to another one. It says, do I need a special mat or a setup to begin yoga? But I think even I can reply that, as sir has mentioned, that you can do few exercises sitting in the back of your chair, or not at a very good place but at a normal comfortable place in your offices, and you can do some pranayams that sir has mentioned. Right, sir?
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Okay, so there's another question which says, how can group yoga sessions help build stronger teams in factories or field work settings? I guess this is a very good question.
Yeah. See, there is a research which has been done, and it is mentioned that if a group yoga section is a yoga session is arranged, then the people feel very much motivated also. And the energy of one person, the positive energy of one person actually helps to reduce the negativity of the other person and ensure that the person who is not feeling that energetic, who is feeling very lethargic, he also gets motivated to perform the yogic exercises. And we have we have seen this in our universities also, when universities actually conduct the group yoga session. In fact, Ayush Ministry also has been conducting the group yoga section for the ambassadors, for the working professionals also. Even if you will know that tomorrow on International Day of Yoga, around 5 lakh of people will actually perform a yoga session in Vishakhapatnam, right? So the intent of having the group session is that people do get motivated. They are able to stretch beyond to their limits. For example, if they were able to do the exercises just 15 minutes for onto the daily basis, they are able to perform those exercises 25 minutes and 30 minutes by seeing other, because they are able to see, they are able to get motivated, they are able to feel the positive energy. They are seeing that they were actually restricting their body, but their body had the capability to perform at much more higher level than what they were performing. So group yoga sessions do help, and in a much better manner. So till the time you are not in a state that you are feeling much more comfortable in doing a silo sessions, you should actually go towards a group yoga session itself.
Nice. It says, are there any mental benefits of yoga for workers who don't consider themselves spiritual?
Yes, see, yoga has, if you want to keep spirituality and yoga as a two different layers or the two different poles, you can keep it. In yoga, nowhere it is mentioned that you have to follow certain religious or spiritual techniques, right? You can, for example, there are people who can say that I may have a problem in chanting Om, right?
Yes.
But they can bring the similar kind of impact if they will chant Brahmari Pranayama. In Brahmari Pranayama also, the vibrations that actually get felt in the brain region, the MRI results shows that the stress hormones reduce drastically and the happy hormones gets released instantly. So there is a thin layer that we see that okay, if we will perform pranayam or if we will chant om, that means we are moving towards the spirituality, or if we are moving towards the sanatan dharma approach, which is not true actually. The yoga actually allows you to follow any technique which you can do on the daily basis, but it should actually be soothing. It should help you at the mental level, or at the or it should relax your neurons or the mental nerves, and it should be research based. If the exercise or the fitness that you are following, if it is not research based, then obviously it will give you a side effect also, which is the another aspect which people feel, that I am getting vomiting after doing certain exercises. For example, if you will do pranayam after meal itself, then it can give you the vomiting sensation also, right? So the yoga has to be done under a supervision of the instructor, and he can give you the list of exercises designed specific to your mental needs as well as to your physical needs.
Okay. So there's another question. It says, can yoga be effective even without doing complex poses?
Absolutely. See, nowadays a trend has come that if you are performing some advanced asana, that actually allows you to make you feel that, okay, now this is what yoga is all about, right? But certain
Right.
people or certain women or certain men will feel that I have certain restriction at the physical level. My body is stiff. I can't perform those tougher asanas. But let me tell you, if you are doing a sukshayam like this, if you are closing your fingers and opening your fingers, that is also part of the yogic practices itself. Okay, so the yoga is actually moving your finger itself is part of the yogic practices also. So yoga is designed for everyone. Even the old age person can do a very simple yogic practices. If person is actually having any issue, they can start from pranayam, and then once they feel energy in the body, then they can move towards a simple exercises. And later on, once they think that their body has improved to that physical toughness level, then they can move towards the complex or the advanced asana.
When they achieve that kind of flexibility in their body.
Correct, correct,
Okay.
correct.
Here it says that some people may not be able to do Shitli pranayam. So is there any alternative to it?
Yes. So many people in the world actually are not able to roll the tongue. So there is an alternative which has been given in the Hatha Yoga textbook, that if you are not able to do Shitali pranayam, then you can do the other pranayam, which is Sadanta pranayam. And how this has to be done? You have to keep your upper teeth and lower teeth together like this. And the space that you will have in your lips, you have to inhale from that space. And then hold for 3 seconds. One, two, three, and then exhale from mouth. So it will bring a similar impact. You will feel the coolness in your mouth. You will feel the coolness in your esophagus. You will feel the coolness in your stomach. So yoga has given the alternative for everyone. If you are of at every age group, you can perform certain kinds of exercises. If you are having a struggle with certain kind of disease, then you can perform the exercises by customizing your exercise with the help of the advanced yoga instructor.
Okay, here's a funny question. It says that some people fall asleep during meditation. So is it deep focus or it's just Monday blues or something?
So there can be multiple issues. First is that
Okay.
if you are not having the sound sleep, if you are not having the sound sleep of 6 to 8 hours, that can actually cause the feeling of sleepiness while doing meditation. The other important aspect is that we are basically being governed by three gunas. If somebody would have actually read Bhagavad Gita, our body is made of three gunas, which is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Okay, so if we have more of a tamasic guna at a particular time of the day, that actually brings the sleepiness feeling also. For example, if we are not having a good control on our diet, if we are having an obesity, or if our kapha dosha is actually more on the body, it will cause sleepiness whatever activity we do. For example, if that person will do long working hours in the office, then that person will feel that he has to sleep the moment he will reach home, right? So depending on the body type, actually people do feel that kind of concern. But if you will follow the approach of yogic lifestyle, which I mentioned in the session, for example, taking sattvic diet, following yogic lifestyle like waking up early, right, and then drinking warm water, and then taking cold baths in the morning and warm bath in the night. So following that kind of regime actually helps you to avoid these kind of concerns which you usually face in the meditation.
Okay, I also have one more question. Like
Sure.
people who are sitting for a very long time, they're like their working is only of sitting for days on the desk job. A lot of people who are gaining obesity, they're getting belly pooch, and it's for men and women both. So, is there any thing to like, we don't get it or we don't get obese, any pranayam or any diet measures that one can take?
Yes. See, from the diet measure, I would say that if you follow the diet which has been cooked at home, that will
Okay.
really help you to reduce the weight. For example, if you will reduce the intake of the packet foods for 21 days, you will see the drastic reduction of 3 kg. That is one thing which I have tested on my participants and my patients also. The
Uh,
one exercise
that's
which you have
something big.
mentioned, so yeah, I have seen that Kapal Bhati is one of the pranayam which actually reduce your belly fat also. And how it has to be done, let me show you. You have to do a forceful exhalation, and once you will do forceful exhalation, your belly will start tucking in, and you will release, and then belly will come to the normal state. So let me help you with 3 or 4 rounds of Kapal Bhati. So let me do it. So that's how, if you will start doing forceful exhalation, you will see a big impact on on your belly region. You will see that if 200 stroke is done onto the daily basis, then 2 to 3 kg of weight is actually reduced if you are doing it in the correct manner with the 200 strokes, right? The only thing that you have to be cautious of, it has to be done either empty stomach, Or
That's
if
what
you
I
have
was
taken
about
any
to
meal,
ask.
if you have taken any meal, then you can do Kapalbhati after 2.5 to 3 hours of meal. So that's the only concern that you should be cautious of. And you can do Kapalbhati whether you are driving or whether you're sitting on office chair. The only thing that you can take concern that you can be cautious of is keeping your spine and neck straight while doing Kapalbhati. That's it. And if you will follow it religiously for 21 days, the 2 to 3 kg of weight will certainly reduce.
Wow, that's a very good advice. And I have one more question. Like a lot of women these days suffer from different problems like thyroid, PCOD, PCOS. So it is just due to not having a good diet, or is it also because not maintaining a good lifestyle, or is it only genetic? Like, what are your insights on this?
See, there are a lot of concerns. For example, girls do face thyroid because of the hormonal imbalance, right? That is one thing. The another reason is that girls actually do have a problem of stress and overthinking nowadays because they actually have to take care of the home also. They have to take care of the children also, and because they are into the professional world, so being a mother, they have to actually do a lot, play a lot of roles, right? And even if somebody is not married, then also a lot of activities are running into their life due to which they cause a problem like diabetes or thyroid, right? So depending on the problem, we can recommend, for example, in thyroid, coriander seeds water is very good. For example,
Yeah,
you
I
can soak coriander seeds on and in the night in one glass of water, and you can keep it overnight. And in the morning, while you are empty stomach, you can drink it. And in thyroid, there are some certain specific pranayam. For example, Ujjayi pranayam is one of the technique which is very good in thyroid, where you have to inhale it and you have to squeeze or contract your throat muscles. For example, if I inhale from the nose, I have to contract it. And once you contract it, then there is a hissing sound which gets created.
okay. That will
You
need a
must
lot
be
of
hearing some
practice.
hissing sound, right? Yeah. Practice is there, but with 1 or 2 days of effort, you should be able to learn it. So in Ujjayi Pranayam, the impact is directly onto the thyroid region, and research shows that if it is done 4 to 6 weeks of time, then thyroid starts coming to the normal range. And even the people who are on the medicines for the thyroid, then their medicine also get removed if they will follow it for 3 months, 3 to 4 months.
Wow, that was very
Yeah.
insightful. With this, we'll take a pause on the questions. I know you all have a lot of questions, but you can put them in the comment section and Sir will get back to you. With this, I would like to thank Mr. Gaurav. That was a very, very insightful session and also a practical one, like telling people 2 or 3 pranayams that they can do right there sitting at their desks is very, very innovative, I would say, and a very insightful also.
Thank you, Ayushi, for hosting this. It was a pleasure to be part of the Education Nest team.
Thank you, sir. With this, I would like you all to tell that this is the end of today's webinar. But with this, don't go anywhere. We'll have another webinar on another topic in the next week. Stay tuned with Education Nest. Follow our social media handles and we'll keep you all the informations updated there. Till then, enjoy, breathe well, as Sir has told, and I know you are taking a lot from this session today as it was very insightful and motivating for all of you. Let's celebrate International Yoga Day tomorrow as it is an initiative by India, right, sir? It's something that
Yes.
the whole India will be celebrating tomorrow. So I guess we all should. And Ayushi Mishra, signing off for today, but we'll meet again in the next webinar. Till then, stay safe
Thanks,
and
thanks
thank you
everyone.
everyone for joining.